What is joinery? Well, simply put, it's really just how you connect two boards together. And that can be in a stick and rail type configuration like this, or connecting them to make a panel. There's all different types of joinery, and there's all different ways of doing it. So everything from nails to screws to other types of hardware. But in woodworking and furniture making, there is a long history of creating joints that come together just with the shape of the wood and glue. All of glue-based joinery, though, is based on two main concepts. One has to do with the nature of wood, and the other is how wood glue works. So let's review the nature of wood first. Remember, this wood is like a pack of straws. Its cellular structure is running in the long direction, and all of the open ends are here. That's the first concept. Second concept is how wood glue works. Wood glue gets into the fibers of the wood, bonds the two pieces together by interlocking those fibers. Now, wood glue only really works when there's long grain, and that means along these long fibers. On the end grain, all the glue just gets sucked into those open ends and creates a very weak joint. So, combining those two pieces of information, we now know that wood joinery with glue only really works when we're connecting long grain to long grain. So all of these different types of joints that we have are ways that we've either cut the wood or shaped it or joining it in different ways that maximize the long grain to long grain connections. Let's take a look at some of the most common woodworking joints and understand how this long grain to long grain connection really works.
There are so many different types of wood joints. Let's divide and conquer. In the world of furniture making, there are basically two types of construction: carcass and frame. Carcass pieces are things made of panels like cabinets and boxes, with most of the joinery happening along edges. Frame construction is when you're joining narrower pieces together, end to edge. Edge joints are one of the most common in carcass construction. Here, narrow boards are joined at their edges to form larger panels. When done correctly, this joint can be stronger than the surrounding wood without the need for dowels, biscuits, or other reinforcement between the parts. Rabbets are also a common joint in cabinets, to create a recess for hiding a back panel, for example. With face grain meeting face grain, it's a strong joint. However, when oriented this way, as in a drawer front, the joint needs to be strengthened. In this example, pins are used as well as a dovetail for mechanical resistance. Miter joints are an elegant way to create a seamless corner, but they are end grain connections that require strengthening for cabinet applications. Use of exterior keys to connect face grain surfaces will work. Another technique is to hide a long spline within the miter. Box joints, also known as finger joints, with their many overlapping face grain connections, are very strong and a good solution for drawers, cabinets, and even slab furniture joints. Like external miter keys, box joints can create a very strong visual impact as well. Similar to box joints with lots of face grain contact, dovetails are angled as well to create mechanical resistance for a very strong joint. Shelves and dividers are also part of carcass construction, and a house dado joint is an easy and reasonably strong solution. Where additional strength is required, sliding dovetails add mechanical resistance. Frame joints are all essentially ways to strengthen a butt joint, where end grain would meet face grain. The simple and strong half lap is a common solution, and there are many variations on this theme. The frame miter joint has the same problems as the carcass version and can be strengthened with keys, splines, or using a half lap to create a large face grain connection. In furniture projects where more strength is needed, a bridle joint is a common solution. It's a relatively easy joint to make and has twice the glue surface area of a half lap. By far, the most common frame furniture joint is the mortise and tenon. It gives you the strength of a bridle joint while hiding the joint itself for a clean and seamless appearance. For added strength, maximize the glue surface with a through tenon, or add mechanical resistance with a wedged through tenon. As you can see from all of these examples, we basically have 5 ingredients for strong joints. Face-to-face grain contact, the more the better. Mechanical resistance, that's adding a shape that will help the joint resist failure. A snug fit. We need no gaps and smooth surfaces where the joint connects. Sufficient glue. We need to cover all of the glue surfaces. And correct clamping pressure. If you overclamp, you'll squeeze out the glue and weaken the joint.